Welcome back to Weekend Movie Bros, where I am
Nice sing.
Jacob, eh, where I am Jacob,
Thanks.
and that, that is
There,
Idiot.
wow, that was the first time you actually really pointed at the center line. Good job.
That is Idiot. And we are Weekend Movie Bros. This review is taken and unedited from the podcast that me and Ray do over here on YouTube, also in a few different places. I just figured it'd be nice to post these individual reviews separately from the podcast as well. So that's what I'm doing. The image that I'm talking under is the podcast that you guys can go find over on our YouTube page in case you guys want to hear everything else we talk about. And yeah, all right, let's go ahead and jump into the review. I think Cocaine Bear is an excellent one. We're going to talk about the movie, but I'm going to talk about the scene real fast. I would also like to mention Cocaine Bear is available to watch on Peacock, but it's been available to rent for some time now. Scream 6 is available next Tuesday, so by the time this podcast is out, you guys will be able to see it. So, Cocaine Bear, I'm going to talk about a scene. This is an important scene that has very zero repercussions throughout the entire movie. Kids do cocaine. Kids actually do cocaine in this movie. They eat cocaine, they snort cocaine. This is a thing. I knew going into it, but I was still shocking seeing, and everybody I saw it with was all shocked. I laughed so hard
Hmm.
during this movie because it was mostly shocking. I was mostly like not sure what the process, so I just started laughing. That's really is what happened. I
They were
hysterically laughed.
also, I need to point this out, snorting powdered sugar, not actual cocaine, but
Obviously.
still they were, but in the film's context, it showed children taking the product and eating and or consuming it.
So my point being here, you bring your child to see this. They're making fun of cocaine the entire movie. People do die about it, but like it's not really that serious of a movie. I think we all can agree. It's a very silly
No.
concept at that. Seeing a bear snort cocaine, I think that's basically the line you can set yourself here. I think you have a very good idea of the movie you're walking into, and your 7-year-old is not going to have that same idea walking out. That 7-year-old is going to be like, oh my God, that kid did cocaine. Can I do cocaine? And I know that because I was that 7-year-old who was like, that kid did cocaine. Can I do cocaine? It happens. It's real. I didn't have cocaine. I didn't do cocaine. But if I did have cocaine, who said I wouldn't do it? You know, that's it. That's my thing. I think Zachary personally enjoyed this movie more than I did, so I'm gonna let him take over Cocaine Bear.
Oh my god, this movie was a breath of fresh air. Well, a breath of fresh cocaine. This movie was ah. I almost got it with the spit take. Almost. So close. Um, this movie, I do not care one bit about the story of this film. One bit. It's the moment to moment scenes in this movie that I will truly remember for the rest of the year. The ambulance scene alone, I will remember for the rest of the year. It is beautifully done. This is Elizabeth Banks' best movie she's done, bar none. I think she's a great director, and I think she directs beautifully in this movie. I think some of the cinematography in this movie is really, really nice. But the bear as a character is just someone you root for. Like you want him to succeed. I'm sorry, you want her to succeed. Like you want to see her thrive. You want to see her get her white money. You want to see her have her kids, and you want to see them have a great time. Kill Ray Liotta, and you do, and it's fun. I wish Ray Liotta's death was a little bit more harsher, but that's just me. Rest in peace, Ray
Kind of
Liotta. You
sad.
were fantastic in the movie. um,
I do like how
but
you had to add that because he actually, is sadly dead.
yeah, this is my favorite Alden Ehrenreich performance. I think he's hilarious in this movie. This is also my favorite Oshar Jackson movie. I am still liking him more than his father. I think he is hilarious. The whole bathroom scene where they do the slow mo fight, hilarious. But my standout of this movie is the little blonde kid. He has some of the best quotable lines in this movie I've ever heard. Have you ever done cocaine? Yeah, I've done cocaine. I've done it in front of all my friends. I do a pretty good job at it. Thank you. What if someone did
That
cocaine? How would I feel? I don't know
I,
how would they feel. I didn't do cocaine. I was just asking.
I don't know if anybody has seen Sweet Tooth, the same
Uh,
little boy from Sweet Tooth.
he kills it, man. He is so fucking funny in this movie. Every time he comes on screen, he's just perfection. Him and the cop. I know who she is from Justified because she's a mean bitch on Justified, but she's hilarious in this movie.
Yeah, this is the most unique I've ever seen her before.
She is hilarious. This whole movie's funny. Like, there's just, but the moment you never forget watching this film is watching a bear snort cocaine off a dismembered arm. Like, you don't ever forget that. Like, that's just a moment you'll see and you'll go, yep, that's a moment of movie history. And they nailed it. I thought the bear looked fantastic. In certain scenes, I thought the bear looked absolutely fantastic. Perfect amount of gore, not over gory.
Still quite
And
shocking.
yes, the scene where the sheriff shoots the guy in the head after the bear waves to him, you just don't see it coming.
Well,
That bear goes from like going, "Hello, how you doing?" to
I feel like what you don't really see coming, I think the important thing that you don't see coming here is the whole the bear waving. You know, I think the big thing here, personally for me, is the personality of the bear. I think
It's so
that's what
funny.
made this movie. I also think the commitment. Everybody on board was committed. There was not a single
Yes,
person in that movie that was like,
they all know what they were doing.
they all were like, we're having a fun ass time on set playing with this fake ass bear. And they were.
Uh-huh. This
I
is
will
my
never
favorite Carrie Russell performance I've seen in such a long time.
I much preferred her in the movie that came out last year. I can't remember what that was called off the top of my head. Very disturbing. Very not made. Antlers. I thought she was much better in Antlers, but that's a much more serious role. She was very funny here. She had, but I don't see. Unlike Zachary, I have to look at it from a story standpoint as well as like a fun standpoint. From a fun standpoint, I could not recommend this movie enough. Please go watch it. Please, I'm begging you. You will love it. If you don't love it, that's fine. Send me hate comments. I accept it. But from a story standpoint, from a character rise, some characters were better than others. But in its defense, the story was very twisty. You didn't really know where it was going. And so it was still very enthralling, even if you're like, well, that character's kind of stupid. Hopefully they don't die. And then when they do die, you're like, what the fuck? Why did you just kill them off? They were okay.
They were decent.
At best. At best. So,
The cop with the dog. Like, he didn't need to go.
no, but I think, see, that's also another thing. I don't know if they played the seriousness with the not seriousness well enough. I'd have to watch it again to really like analyze that. If it was too funny, too out there with the more like serious notes. I mean, the opening alone with the Swedish people. It's a bear. What do we do? I don't know. Do we stand still? I think we'd run towards it. Don't run towards it.
If it's brown, you hide. If it's black, you stay.
What? Overall,
Did you
I
recognize the guy?
automatically. Definitely, I'd say for me, it's a 4.5 out of 5. Very well done. Just a super fun, like, popcorn flick. Excellent
I
gore.
I love the fact that we have been getting these small, like, intimate comedies coming out recently, and they don't understand they're welcome. They're just here to have fun. And I love the fact that we're getting those again because it's just a fun time at the theaters. Much like another film we'll talk about later, this was just a genuine fun time at the theater. And the crowd was really into it. We all had a
Oh, yeah.
blast together. It was a lot of fun.
Once again, I will mention from the moment that they get back from the woods, when with the ass shot, all the way to her flying outside of that van,
It's
it
just
is
pure.
pure gold. I will never, I would never not be able to live that moment, and I'm not mad about that.
Just watching
It's worth the
the
entire movie.
money.
Also, seeing the actual bear snort cocaine. Also,
But watching that bear take the same pace as that car and just free bird.
and you think because you've seen the trailer, you're like, oh, I seen it. No. It's a completely different
No.
experience when you're in it because you really don't know what's going to happen, and then you're just
And then when
shocked.
it does,
You're just really shocked because unlike Zachary, I actually think this movie is extremely gory. It does it to the perfect level for sure, the type of movie that it is for its creature featureness. But it was so much gorier than I was. I was heavenly surprised. I was so not expecting it. It was so violent in the best way possible. I don't want that to fear you away. It's so much embedded with comedy that I don't find it gross or anything. I think anybody can watch it. I mean, when the bear just flops down, plays dead on top because it's tired.
how can you tell it's a girl?
I don't need to finish that line.
And then when they dance together,
It's good. It's a good
it's
movie.
so good.
I would
It's
say
so
it's one of
good.
those movies that you're gonna be like the first like 15 to 20 minutes, not really sure, and then something's gonna click, and you're like, oh, this is a good. Once it gets going. When they're all in the woods and shit's about to go down, then it gets real good,
When
and it
everybody
stays at
gets
that level.
together, when everybody gets together at the cabin, that's when the movie really just.
And then if you're in it by that point, you're in it till the end, and you know exactly what I mean by that statement. I do think that's
Mhm.
one of those movies where you're just like, this could never happen, but my God, am I having a fucking good time? And it set up so many different spin-offs, and I'd probably watch them all. I mean, Cocaine Dog, Cocaine Cat, Cocaine Squirrel. I'd be there.
I would die to watch a squirrel go get. Oh, that's scrap the movie from Ice Age. That's the live action version. You're done.
Oh, Zachary, I'm sorry. I went
Oh,
off of
that
that
would be so good.
before you could tell me your rating. Where would you rate Cocaine Bear?
Oh man, this gets this gets a 4 out of 5. This gets a 4 out of 5. Again, you don't go into this movie for the story at all. You go into it for the fun shenanigans of a bear eating people while sniffing white stuff. That's why you go watch this movie.
Exactly. So you could be like me, who doesn't vibe with it completely because there's certain things that are a little off to you, or you could be like Zachary, who just does not give a fucking shit, and that's perfectly fine.
I could